Madrid, San Miguel Bakery. A December afternoon. Snow falls gently as the scent of fresh bread fills the air. Carmen Lopez, 34, a single mother, desperately counts the coins in her purse at the counter. Beside her, her 8-year-old twins, Lucia and Alba, look up at her with innocent eyes. "Mom, I'm hungry," Lucia whispers, clutching her wool scarf. Carmen has only 3.50 euros. The bread costs 4 euros. "I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't give discounts," the baker says with embarrassment. Just as Carmen is about to leave empty-handed, an elegant man in a camel coat approaches the counter. Alejandro Herrera, heir to a 5 billion euro empire. He has witnessed the scene, and what he does next will change 4 lives forever. But this isn't the typical story of a rich man helping the poor. This is the story of how a brave mother saved the soul of a lost millionaire. Carmen Lopez stares at her nearly empty purse as her twin daughters watch in silence. She has worked all day cleaning 3 different offices, but the money is never enough. December bills have wiped out her savings, and now she can't even buy bread for dinner. "Ma'am, can I help somehow?" asks the baker, Mr. Martinez, who knows Carmen's situation well. "No, thank you. I'll come back tomorrow," Carmen replies with dignity, taking Lucia and Alba by the hand to leave. At that moment, Alejandro Herrera walks into the bakery. At 42, he is the richest man in central Spain, owner of a luxury hotel chain. He's wearing a coat that costs more than Carmen earns in 6 months, but his eyes look empty, lacking the joy that should come with such success. Alejandro had noticed the scene from the window of his parked Mercedes. Something about that mother's dignified expression deeply moved him. As Carmen heads toward the door, he approaches the counter. "I'd like to pay for what this lady ordered," he says quietly to the baker. "Sir, she didn't buy anything, she didn't have enough money," Martinez explains, embarrassed. Alejandro glances at Carmen, who is leaving with the girls. "Then prepare a package with fresh bread, some pastries, and whatever you think a family might need. I'll take it to them." Martinez quickly puts together a full bag of goods. Alejandro steps out and catches up with Carmen on the snowy street. "Excuse me, ma'am, you forgot this," he says, offering her the bag. Carmen looks at him, confused. "I'm sorry, but I didn't buy anything." "Then consider it an early Christmas gift," Alejandro replies with a sincere smile he hasn't shown in years. Lucia and Alba gaze at the elegant man with a mix of curiosity and gratitude, while Carmen feels tears welling in her eyes. Carmen hesitates to take the bag, her dignity clashing with her daughter's needs. Alejandro senses her embarrassment and kneels down to the twins' level. "What are your names?" he asks gently. "I'm Lucia, and this is Alba," the more outgoing one answers. "Mom says we're special because we were born together." Alejandro smiles genuinely for the first time in months. "You have a very brave mom. And you know what? I have a twin sister too. Her name is Patricia." This little white lie helps create a connection, making the girls feel less alone. Carmen watches the interaction, and something about this man's gentle manner convinces her to accept his help. "Thank you," she whispers, taking the bag. "I don't know how to repay this kindness." "You don't have to. But if it's not too forward, may I ask where you live?" Carmen points to a public housing building across the street. "Second floor, a small but cozy apartment. The girls share a room, and I sleep on the living room couch." Alejandro nods without judgment. In his privileged life, he had never imagined people living like this. Yet these 3 seem to have a happiness he completely lacks. "Do you work?" he asks delicately. 3 jobs, Carmen says proudly. Office cleaning early in the morning, caring for an elderly lady in the afternoon, and washing dishes at a restaurant at night when the girls are asleep. Alejandro is struck by her determination. "And the girl's father?" Carmen's face saddens. "He left when he found out I was pregnant with twins. He said he wasn't ready for that much responsibility." Lucia takes her mother's hand. "But we're okay like this, right, Mom?" We're a team. Carmen smiles and nods. But Alejandro sees the exhaustion in her eyes, the weight of carrying everything alone. Listen, he says suddenly. I'm about to open a new hotel here in Madrid. I need someone trustworthy to manage housekeeping. Carmen looks at him with surprise and suspicion. In her experience, when things seem too good to be true, they usually are. Sir, I appreciate the generosity, but I don't even know you. And honestly, I don't understand why a man of your obvious wealth would care about a stranger's problems. Alejandro realizes how this must look. A rich man offering a job to a single mother with kids could be misinterpreted in all the wrong ways. You're right to be cautious, he admits. My name is Alejandro Herrera. I can show you my ID and give you any references you need. The offer is serious and completely legitimate. He pulls out his wallet and shows her his ID. Carmen recognizes the name, Herrera Hotels, a famous chain across Spain. The new hotel opens in January. He continues, I need a housekeeping manager to coordinate cleaning, oversee room service, and make sure everything runs perfectly. It's a job that requires organization, reliability, and attention to detail. And you think I have those qualities based on 5 minutes of conversation? I think a woman who raises 2 girls alone, works 3 jobs, and keeps her dignity even when she can't afford bread has exactly the qualities I'm looking for. Lucia and Alba listen wide-eyed. The idea of their mom no longer being constantly tired and worried excites them. How much? How much would it pay? Carmen asks hesitantly. 3,000 euros a month, plus on-site housing for you and the girls, health insurance, and paid vacation. Carmen nearly faints, it's more than she earns in 6 months across all her jobs. There's a catch, right? No one pays that much for so little. Alejandro looks her in the eyes. The only catch is I need someone I can trust completely, and something tells me you're that person. Snow continues to fall as Carmen makes the decision that will change their lives. 2 weeks later, Carmen and the twins move into a suite at the Herrera Madrid Hotel, a renovated 17th-century palace in the heart of the city. The girls can't believe their eyes. Their new home has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a stunning view of El Retiro Park. Mom, it's like being princesses. Alba exclaims, jumping on the king-size bed. Carmen explores her new ground-floor office, a bright, modern space where she'll manage a team of 20. Alejandro has provided everything. Computers, phones, staff uniforms, and above all, the trust to run a major operation. Her first day is intimidating. She's dealing with VIP guests, special requests, late suppliers, and staff who need training. But her experience as a single mom, used to juggling 1,000 problems at once, proves invaluable. Alejandro watches from afar as Carmen turns the chaos of the opening into a smooth, efficient operation. He sees her motivate staff with kindness but firmness, solve problems creatively, and keep smiling under pressure. How's it going? He asks one night, finding her still in the office at 9 p.m. Better than I expected, Carmen replies, tired but satisfied. The team is learning fast, tomorrow the first guests arrive, and the girls are doing homework in the suite. They've explored the whole hotel and made friends with the chef, he's teaching them to bake cookies. Alejandro smiles. Sounds like they've settled in well. Too well, I'd say. Yesterday Lucia asked if we're rich now. Carmen laughs. I told her we're lucky, but we must always remember where we came from. That answer hits Alejandro harder than Carmen realizes. He had long forgotten his own roots, lost in privileges he took for granted. After a month, the Herrera Madrid Hotel is considered one of the best in the city. Online reviews praise not just the luxury and location, but especially the impeccable service and warm, family-like atmosphere Carmen has created. Alejandro starts spending more time at the hotel, officially to oversee operations, but really because he feels strangely at home. He often eats at the in-house restaurant, and Lucia and Alba have made a habit of greeting him when they see him. Mr. Alejandro. Lucia shouts one night, running up to him. Mom says tomorrow is your birthday. Alejandro stops, surprised. He had completely forgotten. In recent years, he celebrated with work dinners or empty social events. That's true, he admits, but I haven't planned anything special. Birthdays are important. Alba protests. Mom says they're forgiving, thanks for being born. Carmen arrives, chasing the girls. Sorry if they're bothering you. Alejandro, please, and they're not bothering me at all. Then how about we make something special for Alejandro's birthday? Carmen suggests to the girls, who clap excitedly. Alejandro is about to say it's not necessary, but the girls' enthusiasm stops him. He can't remember the last time someone truly cared about his birthday. The next night, Carmen and the twins prepare dinner in the suite, homemade pasta, tiramisu, and a cake decorated by the girls with adorably imperfect precision. You didn't have to go to all this trouble, Alejandro says, moved, as he sees the table set. It's no trouble, Carmen replies. This is how you thank people who change your life. Over dinner, Alejandro opens up about his lonely childhood in Swiss boarding schools, parents always away for work, and the sister he only sees at Christmas. The girls listen, fascinated, unable to imagine a life without daily hugs and family laughter. That's why you're always sad, Lucia says with an 8-year-old's wisdom. You don't have a family to spoil you. Alejandro feels tears in his eyes. That child had pinpointed in one sentence what therapists hadn't in years. Everything seems perfect until 3 months after opening, Alejandro gets a call that changes everything. The board of his holding company has seen how much he's spending on the Madrid hotel, and they're not happy. Alejandro, we're losing money, the chairman says in a video call. Salaries are too high, standards too costly. You need to cut operating costs by at least 40%. Alejandro looks out his office window and sees Carmen handling check-in for a group of Japanese tourists, smiling, fixing a luggage issue, making them feel welcome. What if instead of cutting, we invest in quality? Reviews are excellent. Occupancy is 95%. The numbers don't lie. Make the cuts, or we'll send someone else to manage the hotel. That night, Alejandro faces an impossible choice: fire half the staff, including Carmen, and turn the hotel into a cheap, impersonal operation. Or risk his position to protect the people who made it a success. Carmen knocks on his office door. Alejandro, is everything okay? You've seemed worried for days. He looks at her and realizes that in 4 months, this woman has become his best friend, someone who genuinely cares about him, not his money or power. Carmen, I need to tell you something, and I'm afraid it will change everything. He explains the board's pressure, the required cuts, and that her job is at risk. I understand, Carmen says calmly, surprisingly. I knew it would end eventually. It was too good to last. It's not over, Alejandro says with sudden determination. I have a proposal for you. Alejandro makes the biggest decision of his life. He leaves the family holding company and invests everything in starting a new boutique hotel chain, with Carmen as partner and chief operating officer. Are you sure? Carmen asks in disbelief. You're risking everything for us? I'm not risking anything, Alejandro replies. I'm finally investing in something with real value. The first months are tough. They start from scratch, finding investors, convincing staff to join the new venture. But Carmen proves a natural at business, and together they create a hospitality model that puts people first. Lucia and Alba, now 10, have grown up seeing Alejandro as a special uncle. They help decorate new hotels, suggest family-friendly ideas, and above all, teach him what it means to truly belong. 2 years later, the Casa Hotels chain has 5 locations in Spain and a waiting list of investors. But the greatest success is the family they've built. Remember when you couldn't afford bread? Alejandro asks Carmen one night as they watch the girls play in the garden of their Seville hotel. Every day, she replies. And I thank God for that snowy day. Me too. Because it taught me that true wealth isn't measured in euros, but in hugs, laughter, and people who accept you for who you are, not what you own. Lucia runs over. Mom, Alejandro, look what we made. The girls hold up a handmade sign, welcome home. Here, we're all family. Alejandro smiles and hugs his 3 women. It took him 43 years to understand what being truly rich means, and now he wouldn't trade this life for any billion-euro empire. You know what? He says, looking at Carmen and the girls. I think it's time to make this family official. He kneels and pulls out a ring. Carmen Lopez, will you marry me? And Lucia and Alba, will you officially become my daughters? Tears of joy, hugs, and excited yes fill the garden. Under the Seville stars, 4 people tested by life finally become a complete family. True wealth was never about money, it was always about love. And so, Carmen, the mother who couldn't buy bread, saved a millionaire's soul and found true love.